Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, I think we're live on TikTok. Yep, that might have went up. Now, YouTube is a little different. YouTube's, we got to set the channel up, make sure we can do monetization. Morning, peeps. Just talking to myself this morning. How's y'all weekend going? I don't know if anybody's here yet, but they'll be piling in. Coming live to you from Ohio, the great state of Ohio. Still cold, by the way, in Ohio. We have a whole bunch of members out. I don't know, maybe a dozen of them from Ohio. Where we at? Let's see. Are we live? That looks good. All right. Good morning, everybody on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, X, Facebook Live. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Do we have anybody here now? 4 people are piling in right there. That's the numbers. 2 here on X and 2 on Safety Trade. Good morning, TikTokers. It's Sunday morning. Hopefully all y'all still sleeping in. What's up, Lazarus? What's up, George Hyde? Good morning, peeps. Oh, and then I have this little thing right here. We go over to here. Look at Arnold. We have to go over to there. And we go over to here. And there we are. And it's a tap thing. There's a little tap thing. Oops, I shouldn't sit there. But this thing automatically hits the like button 3 billion times a second. So, yeah, that's real handy. Cheap as can be. Like $20. All right. Let's see. Yep, we're seeing the right thing. I make sure we're on the right screen, which I always have an error of, which we are. So, see, we got to turn that volume down. There's a delay on these are probably all need to go. I'll tap back in. Oh, look at you go. Yep, good. We don't have to grab any of those. Put back in. Who is this? Silver gold. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, John Parker. John's from Ohio. You have a good weekend so far, John? What's up, Nelson? I see Nelson in a minute. Lazarus over there and over there. Okay, no one else said good morning over there. We'll get back to those. Oh, let's see. What's something we can call from quick? Bitcoin, Ethereum, all doing what they're supposed to do. We have Bitcoin over its orange line, as we always talk about, over its center. We have a shit ton more coming for Ethereum. And has it gone back up yet on? No. You still have time for XRP. XRP will be going to $2.52 again. You can clearly see that Bitcoin has closed its gap. It's filled in the black space right here to green to yellow. You can clearly see the green to yellow here is still open on XRP. It hasn't gone back up to touch it. It did touch it here as called twice, it looks like. Yeah. It's going to go right back again for a third time. Then it's going to go up a little bit higher. XRP to $3, XRP to $3.50, XRP to $4. Demo trade only. I am not a financial advisor. Pre-recorded. Hit it all the time. Oh, speaking of which, where's my little thing at? This also stays up. Hey. Oh, there it is. See this? Oop. I see down here how many times I repeated it. Let them say something. Oh, look, that's behind the thing. Yes, sir. Currently waiting for my daughter's softball game to start here and getting ready for market open later. Let's rock. Good, John. Yay. Him and his brother, Matt Parker. They're good people. Martelek. Good morning, Martelek. Good morning, Fletch. Good morning, everybody on TikTok and YouTube. Usually the TikTokers file in first. What's up, J-Flow? Morning, J-Flow. Morning, George. Morning, Lazarus. Morning, Zach. Good morning, Jonas, Odahai, and Hockey. I don't know those folks. They must be new to the channel. All right. XRP has hit take profit 1 of 2,500. Take profit 2 is 2986. Take profit 3 is 3,100, and it will be going back to 3,300. That's XRP. Matter of fact, I'm going to call it to be over 4,000. One of our members loves it, so I trade it real close for him on that one, Larry. Let's see. Over here, y'all remember that we track every trade I ever call since November of last year, so over 6 months. Every trade I've ever called, good, bad, or indifferent, has been tracked. You can see the results. We can go over every last one of those. So every time I make a call, I sometimes make calls, don't give numbers. So she doesn't have to write them down because she writes down so many. Sometimes it's crazy. This is probably one of those days. But then there's other days where and if you come over to here, you can zoom in and you can see everything. You can see like my Bitcoin calls or whichever one you want to check to see how I did with the call, and it's there. By the way, the Kim, the great lady who does this for us, she I said, Kim, how many times do you think I'm right when I make these calls? 80%, 90%. On one of the lives, she goes, oh no, 100%. I go, Kim, you write all these down. How many do you think? No, it's 100% on all the calls. I was like, whoa. I was like, okay. I figured I was shooting about 90, 95 because some of these are obscure. I don't even know what these people name some of these things. It's like, where do you can come up with these people with the simple names? They don't have history and stuff. I don't usually call those. All right, so that takes care of Bitcoin. Bitcoin will be going up because XRP has to go up and hit its orange line. Bitcoin will be going up because Ethereum has to come up and hit its orange line. But Bitcoin itself is pretty much finished in my book. It's going to be going to 105 is called out, 110 is called out, 115 and 120. Remember when Bitcoin was going down to like 70s and 75 as I called the sell stops all the way down? I was the only one telling you it was going up to 120 back then, and it is, and it will, and it's just heading there. Just give it time. And that is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. If you guys have any questions over that, just ask. Demo trade only. I am not a financial advisor. Good morning, J Flow on TikTok. Good morning to everybody on TikTok. Good morning, Shiraz. How's everybody weekend doing out there? You guys having fun? Enjoying life? Let's get you some gold. All right, let's take a look at gold and silver. Oop, and move this. We got to put it back. No interval. Yep. And there we go. Yeah. Silver's a little bit messy. Makes its movements, but still using. 1 minute. Oops. Yeah. There we go. Buy stop. Gold. Remember, gold's on a permanent buy. It never goes down since 1935. It's always a buy, always will a buy. We don't ever play a sell on it. Same for Bitcoin and Ethereum and XRP. They're all permanent buys until otherwise noted. The only time I change the permanent buy is if there's a daily, and I can show you that on US 30. So right now we're at a permanent buy. There is a 15-minute sell stop on gold. It will go down to 3,277, but I will never play gold to that. Actually, we're going to see it go down to 3,276. That's where it's heading to. Silver is the same, of course. They're both play the same. 90-minute. Let's see. We only wait for remember the smaller time frames are building up a buy stop for us on a higher time frame. 5 hour, 7 hour buy stop, both. 5 hour buy stop gold, love it. Gold take profit one's right off the yellow line, 3,310 right off the orange line, 3,332, 3,371. That's gold. You also have the buy stop on silver. Silver is 30. Let me see, where's that? 32. $33.14. $33.26, $33 and whatever that is, 40 cents. And that is silver. Let me see if we can go up a little higher for you guys. Yep. We still are off the daily green, 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 red, buy stop, green, green, red. Yep. We're off the 12-hour daily buys. Gold is going back to $3,326. Gold is going back to $3,361. $3,429. 3,500 will be going past 3,500 to new record highs. Silver be the same. It's going back to 33. Let's call it $34. Then it'll be going to $35. Let me see. Weekly. Let's go back here. Yeah. Remember, silver's just resetting on it. Gold's just resetting on its weekly. You guys saw me in November call this drop on the pink line and the stagnation, where you guys used to call the consolidation, where it's going sideways moving market, is bullshit. Just moving over to touch again to go back up again. Gold's doing the same thing again right now. This is back in January of 2024. And then again in July, and then again this January, February. That's the trade I'm in currently right here. This is the trade of gold. I got in at 113. It was a buy, a 1.0 lot size. Gold at this price of 2,600. We're up $630 an ounce. Soon to be more. We're just letting this ride for you guys. There's the swap fee is about $8,000 already on that one, but whatever. But yeah, so 63,000, but it's $630 an ounce. We're in that trade. We're going to hold that trade till the pink line comes all the way down, and then it's going to hook and come up again, just like it did here, 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 and here again. Gold will then flip and hook up. First, it has to come down. This green little histogram bars have to hook and go underneath, just like it did here and here. It'll come down and hook underneath the yellow buy line. When it does that, there'll be a 30-minute buy stop on gold. When that 30-minute buy stop happens on gold, purple has to come down too, by the way. When the 30-minute buy stop happens on gold, we'll get back in again another position on gold, because that's where this position of gold is. So this position on gold right here is at the very bottom when this happened. So yep, that's how we run gold, and that's easy peasy on that one. So demo trade only.
Demo trade only. I am not a financial advisor.
Morning, D. Nice. What's up, buddy? Morning, everybody on TikTok and YouTube. But this is Monday morning at this time. You'd have about 60, 50, 60, 70, 80 people. Over here we have 13. And then over here we have 6. So you're about 20 people deep. Morning, Hockey. Morning, George. Morning, next vid. All right. So that is gold and silver. That is also Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum. Might as well get you all hooked up while I'm in the mood. Let's go over to here. And we're going to see. Now, let me explain real quickly that this free upgrade given to you by beautiful Bree, my wife, and myself, coded by the great Keith Palmer. The Uno Reverse, many of you are in, speaking of which, we're probably at 60, will be expiring June the 14th. You will no longer have this free. We'll be upgrading it free to you eventually right after that. I think we're almost there. Keith's still making a few tweaks on this thing, but it's close enough to what I want. Now, what you can see is the 1 second US 30 NAS NQ1 SPX 500 ES1. They're all green except for US 30, so we're going to swing over to US 30 and we're going to go to 1 second. It's just forming a buy stop. Buy stop 1 second, all 6 indices, including YM that doesn't show here, YM1. Buy stop. This is buy stop, fill in the gap. Pink's going to cross, come back up. Green, 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 fill in the gap to the yellow line. It's going to come back up over the orange on ES1. Fill in the gap, fill in the gap. This is an actual buy stop already up on NAS, already to the orange line on 1 second. And this is US 30 with a fill in the gap. Also, the pink has to come down further, which means price can come down. Now, that's for the 1 second. Let me see real quick on 5. Yeah, gorgeous. So we're already over the 5 second on ES1, SPX1, and Q1 and NAS. We're below the 5 second buy stop on US 30. Anybody out there? John, anybody awake? Morning, Brian. D Nice. Anybody? Which one of these are we going to call a buy stop to? Which one are we going to call buy stop? NQ1 is miles above its blue line on the 5-second. NAS is miles above it. SPX is right at it / above it. ES1 is right at it / US30 is way below it. I don't know if anybody's awake. Usually if Larry's here, John's here, somebody that's awake, don't know. I'll wait. I'm not going to tell you where it's going on the 5-second until someone at least guesses right or wrong. I love how TradingView, see, this kind of takes up a lot of space, but if you leave it off over here, you know, the other ones could be on. TradingView keeps their charts completely separate. I don't like TradingView, but that's a good feature. Look, good morning, Rayshawn. Nelson Ponce, you got it, brother. US30 to the 5-second blue line. There you go. So it's a buy stop US30 to the 5-second blue line. That's a great trade, by the way, for open. That's perfect. That's just absolutely what you want to see. Now, we already know that for the longest time, let me go back up here. We can still call that. For the longest time on Friday, we knew that the price action had gone up a lot. It pulled back later in the day. I would hold on any of these at this moment. What do I mean by hold? Yes, we're going to call them out. Yes, US30, YM1, NAS, NQ1, SPX 500, and ES1 is in the game. ES1 is like ES the game. Never mind. The sports thing so it says it's in the game. I always say ES1 in the game. Don't ask. Anywho, yeah, good job, Fletch. Yep, US30. Rayshawn, NQ1. Nope. You are wrong, Rayshawn. Warren, I'll go over why. We'll go over that in a second, but thank you for guessing. Kirk Brown, YM. Orlando, YM. Nope, wrong. John Parker, US30. Nelson, US30. Fletch, US30. So we'll go over that. Teach everybody how to get it. All right. So, US30. So we're going to wait. Technically, I don't like the fact that the buy stops are on the 3-minute, 5 minutes. There is a 2-hour buy stop. We'll go over that in a second. But let's go back to that 5-second one for everybody. Okay. We clearly see US30 is below it. We can clearly see price action is below the blue line on the 5-second. There's a fill in the gap. It just turned to green. You can see the pink coming up to the blue. On the sniper, you got a lot of reasons why. Okay. Now, if we go over here to the 10-second, you can clearly see, oh, it's just right below it, but it is below it. And you can see on our little chart here, everybody, who was that? I just listened to live now. I'm on my way to the pool on the train. Blessings to everyone. God bless Kev, Breathe, Keith. All safe trade family. Thanks, CV. Morning, CV. I'm on my way to the pool. Yay, have a great time at the pool. So we can see that US30 is red below the 1-second blue line, 5-second blue line, 10-second blue line. We can see NAS is above all of those. We can see NQ1 is above all of those. We can see SPX is kind of almost above all those except for the 5-second. We can see ES1 is above all those. So let's just take the 10-second right here. Let me go ahead and zoom in on that so you guys can get clear on what you're seeing. We're going to look right in here. And we're going to take away everything else. And if we look right in here, and we don't need a sniper at that point either. If we look right in here, we'll see that the only one below the 10-second blue line is US30. So that's how we have a cheat sheet with the new free upgrades, the sniper rifle on steroids, the Uno Reverse. It's telling you that the only one below the 10-second blue line is US30. Literally, physically with arrows. Well, if we go over here and we go to the 10-second blue line, you can literally see ES1. Who was that? Rayshawn? Kirk, Rayshawn. Can you see this? I was looking at something. Okay, Rayshawn got it. Good morning, EA8851. Haven't seen you in a minute. Good morning. Good morning, buddy. One of the things is not like the other, right? One of these things is, I have a song where Bree sings it. Yeah, one of these things not like that. Okay. Blue low, price is high. Blue low, price is high. Blue low, way low, price is way high. Blue low is really low, price is high. And you can see it's not much underneath it, but it's still underneath the 10-second. So that's exclamation for why the 10-second is where it's at. And if we go over to the 5 seconds, it's very, very similar. Kind of, they're technically saying this one is below, but it's still slightly above. slightly above, hugely above the 5-second, hugely above the 5-second. This one's lagging. And we do own lagging.com. We own lag trading, lagging trading. We own all the versions of lag. So lag trading, when this is lagging behind right here on 5-second, and there's 5 other, well, 4 in this case, 4 other ones, the symbols that we trade as one, you know that when there's 4 above, the other one's going to it, and that's US 30. Now, I prefer to have US 30 and NAS all 3 be above, and then this one would have been below. We could do it, but we'll take what we got, and that's good enough. It'll do it. All right, so that is US 30, and then why do we have US 30 and YM1, NAS, SPX, and all of them as permanent buys? Because they're artificially kept up for the last, we go back 6 months and you look at one of the charts that are actually, you can see an upward slope slightly. You can see an upward slope since July 10th. So it's a little longer than that. Oh, let's go up to a higher time frame. There we go. Since 2008, and what is this, 20? So for the last 15 years, ES1, it's in the game. Well, I can't even go back that far, really. Yep, that's all it gave me. I have to go back to the charts. Since January 25th. So past 15, 20 years, there really has been none. And then look right here. Everyone's saying how things were going. No, we are so far away from our orange line right here. I called it back down to here. I'm going to call it again, a warning to each and every one of you. These markets, while they're going to still go up, will still pay the daily weeklies. I'm going to go over that in a second. While you're doing that, you have to understand that these markets are completely 100% overvalued. Again, like I called back in November, these have to come down to about 4,000 on ES1. I would like it to come down to about 4,000. Again, SPX, same thing. Somewhere in the range of 14,000 for NQ and NAS. And then, oh, we don't even have enough history on. Look how silly they are. Ah, they still don't have it. All right, fine. We try to scare me around. We go this way then. Hold on one second. We're going to go over to different charting. I can tell you US 30 over here. All right, and let's go up to 12 hours. I'll tell you where US 30 is going to go to, or it needs to come back down to. See how it came down and touched the line? As called out. You can go back here and watch where I called back. It was bounced off that line, but it's still not far enough down. Yeah, it's going to need to pop down to about 32,500 on US 30. Let me see. Yeah, we're good. 4,000. Yep. All right. So yeah, US 30 is going to come down about there. Needs to come back down about there. Let's put it simply. This is a yearly one. It's too high on the pink to the blue and the orange. It's way too high. It needs to come back down again. Now, is it going to do that anytime soon? Negative. I don't believe it's going to happen in the next 6 months or year. Does it need to happen? Yep. But we have a 3-week weekly buy stop that has to finish first. So if we come over to our 3-week buy stops over here, let's go over to 3-week. You're going to see all of them. We're in the middle of a buy, so you can't do a sell right now. ES1 has hit its orange line. It's done exactly what was called. SPX 500 hit its orange line exactly as called. NQ1 has hit its orange line, does exactly as it's called. NAS is above its orange line and hit its orange line exactly as called. And you can see US 30 kind of went up and tapped it, but it's not past it. So if you're looking for buy stops, US 30 is the best one to take and hold. They're all good. They're all going to do it. And I wonder which two that I have. I have a 529 and I have a 430 buy 0.50 1.0 US 30 price in. Gee, I'm up 834 points. Well, percentage points. So I call pips. You guys call it whatever you want. I'm up 834 pips on US 30 and going. I'm up 2,010 pips, over 2,000 pips on a trade from April and still going. So you should be holding your US 30 trades until when? Until it hits its orange line. And we can zoom in on that. Boop. And we can move this over to here. And then we can go in a lot. And we can go over to here. And then we can go over to here and make this like that. And now we can zoom in greatly. Now, how much longer do we have? Well, it's right here currently. It's got to go to here. You have 700 plus more pips to go to. Plus, it's going to go over the previous high. You have 2,800 more pips for US 30 to go to, for the pink to cross the purple on the most important indicator ever made. You can see this is our logo buy stop, started red, filled in the gap, went up. Then it's over here, the space right here, the green to the yellow, this fill in the gap has to happen. Then the price action has to go up to the orange and above the previous high. So all that is your logo. Goes over, it comes up, touch, comes over, touch, and up it goes. So yeah, you'll be seeing record-breaking highs on US 30, NAS, and SPX, and all the futures also, on all these indices. And it's great, right? But then again, you better keep in the back of your mind, on the yearly, this shit's got to fall. It's got to come back down. It's way too high. But let's run with it for now. We'll keep it open. All my trades are locked in profit. There's no chance of it going below anything. I'll make money no matter what. So I'm happy leaving those open. Morning, Lachey. What's up, Lachey? Was thinking YM is the same as US 30. Oh, yeah. Good job, Kirk Brown. You're right. Kirk is correct. Filio. We didn't have YM pulled up, though, Kirk. Sorry about that. He's technically right. Morning, Coach. Yep. Morning, Filio. One of the things I like. Yep. Morning, Lachey. Good. All right. Yeah, we're about 25 people there. So, a little part around a Sunday morning guy. Everybody's saying should be asleep right now. All right. All you here that are here, that's awesome. All right. Now, that concludes from our 5-second up to the higher time frames. I do want to say one more thing, though. Let's go over to this one. As these fall down, which eventually tomorrow they're going to shoot up a little bit, they're going to turn green, pop, 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 pop. Or today, I should say. Then by this evening, they're going to flip and they're all going to turn red and come down. You're going to see all these buy stops form up here. Let's go over to the 2 hours and see what we got looking right there. Nope. Let's go to 4 hour, 5 hour. Okay, let's go back over to these groupings. All right, we're going to see right here. Buy stop 4 hour all. Buy stop 7 hour all. Fill in the gap. 7 hour, 10 hour buy stop on all indices that we trade as one. 12 hour weekly. Yep, nope, comfortable with that. There is a daily sell, and this is what you got to pray. So we're already pulling out of the daily sell. When things are super strong, going up super strong, you'll see the sell stop. See this top one turn to green now, and you see the Bach broke and turn to green, top, 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 top. So now we can see the blues high, pinks low, and I can go back down to the 12 hour and we can see that. Well, if we see that, we can pull out of the sell. So this was a sell. If we go back in time, this is a daily sell stop for a while. And if that would have kicked in, boy, they would have killed. Trump would have been in deep shit. Would never made it out of it. Because what this is calling for, if you go back here on all these, was for the daily, and this is still a daily sell technically. I'm calling it for Kim to write that down. This could drop down to 4,700 on ES1. Yep, 4,700 on SPX. You could have seen this drop down to 15,800 on NAS and NQ. And you could have saw this drop down to 36,000 on thing. This is a daily sell technically, but I believe we're in such a strong push up that we're going to avoid the whole thing. That's my hope. So we do a weekly, 3 weekly, and you can see the 3 weekly daily, and we're inside of it. Oh, that's what I'm going to show you guys. So what's going to happen is, in order for me to call this a daily sell, it just like I explained this the other day, but this is what has to happen. Let me rock out of this. And let's go back again. All right. This is what has to happen. I'm going to show you on one. It's the same for all, but all right, we'll use ES1 right here. On a daily, in order for me to convert any of these over to a sell again, like I did short term, is and this is one of the basic trading rules system. Price action has to come down below hook and come down. Well, this is your orange line has to go below the yellow and the green. Then it comes back up into the groove, and this is our logo on the sell stop to the blue line. Well, now you can see the orange line has come back up over top of it. So in order for me to call this a sell ever again, it has to hook back down again like it did over here. See how the orange line hooked and came down, came back up. Once the orange line goes below these two and it turns, all our stuff turns red again, then we'll see price action come down. Well, actually, there'll be a hook right here. It'll come down like that and do what it did right there. And it will look just like this again. So until the dailies flip, like you can clearly see the sell right here, pink, blue high. This is a long time coming. This will be months to 6 months before I can call this, even if it does go low for a sell stop, because it's just, it can't do it now. It has to do this again. This is correct. This is incorrect. So now it's going to take a lot of time, but it'll do it eventually, maybe a daily. Like, and this is the part where you don't probably want to hold and eat this shit when this drops down 5,700. So 1,000, pips on anything. Just saying that would be one of those. I'll give you a heads up right about there again on that one. But anyway, so yeah, that's how you know on that. Does anybody have any questions over everything I just called? You now have your long-term trades. You have your 1 second trade. You have your 5 second trades. You have your 2-hour trades. You have your 7-hour daily trades. You have your weekly trades. They're all called out. Does anybody have any questions over that?
Trade only. I am not a financial advisor.
Good morning, Michelle Glowinski. What's up, Michelle? What's up, Tobias? What's up, J-Flow? What's up, Lazarus on TikTok? Lachey, John Parker, Kirk. Do you guys have any questions over anything on what I went over so far? And usually it's a big fat zero, but sometimes somebody will ask something. Don't forget, if you want the system, if I can do this, you can do this. If my members can do this, you can do this. Go over to safetytrade.com, buy the oh good, we still have 2 left. The system right here, just get the raw system. It's all you need. Good morning. Good morning. Thoughts on UNH? Must be United Healthcare. What's up, Tobias? Lazarus. I see your question marks, but I don't see your question, Lazarus. You might have to email in your questions. Let me look at UNH for this fella. Good morning and welcome to the channel, Tobias. And it's not thoughts on UNH. I'll tell you exactly what UNH is going to do. Oh, I don't want to do it here. Nope. Nope. Where's my thing at? Nope. Here we go. Here. UNH. All right, let's see what UNH is up to. We're going to wait for my sniper rifle to load in. It's currently in a little buy to the 15-minute line. Let's check the 15-minute. And yep, probably somewhere sooner than that. 7-minute, 5-minute past 7-minute. Buy stop UNH to the 5-minute blue line. That'll get you to about 303. Good enough for me. Eventually, you're going to see on UNH. Let me pull this back out of the way. Further. All right. Yeah, it's a ricochet too, actually. So yeah, you're going to see this pink and purple cross the blue like it did here, and it's going to go up and touch this blue line right here. It's not a matter of if it's going to do this, it's a matter of when it's going to do this, and that is United Healthcare. Shorter term, what's up with this sell up here, though? This concerns me. This is a daily sell. Whoa, what's going on with that? 12-hour daily, weekly. Yeah, it is. Daily sell stop. Oh, good, but at least it's, yeah, you're good. You're fine. This is a really good time, actually. I might record a thing and send it to somebody right now. When I see them like this is usually a good thing. All right. Okay, we have a daily sell to the weekly blue line. It already came down and nipped it right here. Can it do it again? Yeah, it's going to be another sell. All right, so sell stop to $248. There's going to be a slight pull up, whatever I just told you on that 2-hour thread, whatever the hell that thing was. And it's going to go down to 250. 250. United Healthcare is going to go up quickly, like the next several hours, whatever, when it opens, and then it's going to do one of the normal ricochets. It's going to hit, come up, come back down, touch that line right there. That's what it's going to do. And that will get us to somewhere around 230, 240, 250 in that range. If you don't really care about how far it goes down to eat the thing and do some dollar cost averaging, as somebody I know and loves, we can look at this as UNH. It's gorgeous. Yep, look at this, perfect. This is, you should enter the trade already. It's already back to the buy. Yeah, 3 months, but this is perfection. Yep. Okay, now you're looking at H&H, UNH as a M, so it's a monthly, 3 monthly buy stop. You can see that clearly because you have red right here, pink and blue and purple hooking down, price action going below, and you can see the orange going below the red line. But this is your main thing for the average beginner. And you can look over here and you can see that is green. So if we look at this together, I guess I'll use both of these after all. All right, we're going to make this one over here if I can. Yeah, the 3 month, and we're going to make this one over here the monthly. Can I see that? Yep, you can see that. TikTok. You can see right in here, the space, this red right here, fills in the gap over here. So when you zoom in right here, and I make this go away because that is ridiculous. Why is that so big? Where's my table? Oh, let me see here. There we go. There. And then you come over here, you can see there's a space. What is the space? There is a space between, oopsie, let me undo that. There is a space between the histogram bars right here and the yellow signal line, and that space will eventually be this missing puzzle piece. This red right here fits into this black space like a, I don't know, like a puzzle piece. So this is a buy stop. This is a monthly, right? 3 month buy stop. UNH 1 month, and that's a 3 month. So eventually you're going to see, and this is what I'll call out for you. This is the trade I would personally take. I am not a financial advisor.
Demo trade only. I am not a financial advisor.
But if you're pushing me and forcing my hand on something, I would gladly take this trade. There are better ones, Target and other ones, but this is still a very good trade. Let's take a look at that. Look closer up. All right, I will call this trade easily on the daily. Yeah. All right. I'm going to call this trade off the weekly. You can follow it back down to here, 240s, whatever. Grab it if it's down that low. If it doesn't go that low, whatever, don't care. My first take profit is $332, $350, $380. Boy, someone's gonna make some money on United. Why are they dumping United? This is some kind of scam right here. Whatever this is. 380, 400, 420. Holy shit. 450, 550, and technically it's gonna go past 630. It's gonna take time. This is a 3 month. This is a over the next year. Well, when's the last time it did this? There. Oh, this is the logo buy stop. Holy shit, this is the logo buy stop 3 months. Wow, that's pretty good. $29 it was at. It went up to 600 the last time it did this, and it took from about 2010. So about four. So you got about I'll just call 5 years. You got about 3 to 5 years for this thing to keep going up after this. Is that incredible? And this is a logo buy. This is when this logo buy. This, so people don't understand. Red, green, green, green. Then the first time it's a fill in the gap. First time the pink across the blue, and this is the second time it's down below. This has to come down a little bit further. This will hook and come across that. Price action will then do this number right here like this and go up past everything I called. That's a really. This is actually really. I might add hold on. I think I'm going to add UNH to my watch list. We'll play around with that and see where it's going to go. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, whoever you are. Who was that? Let's see. Tobias, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I hope that helps you. To be specific to you, you don't have my system, but I would get it if I were you. I would play any 30-minute buy stop, which is just happening to the blue line. I love this 30-minute. This is fantastic little trade. My technical advisor, is there any reason why United Healthcare is getting smashed in your lane? Fraud. All right.
Yeah, they were exposed there. Fraud was exposed there.
Well, good.
So
The benefit off of United Healthcare's fraud. Take the buy stops, everyone you can find. There's a 30-minute one forming right now. That'll go back to 371. Yeah, I love this trade. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Trade only. I am not a financial advisor.
All right. Hopes that helps you. Got to run. Game is starting. Yeah. Good luck to your daughter. I hope they win, and at least she has fun. Thanks, John, for being here. Kev, you have changed my life, and I thank you for that. Oh, thanks, D Nice. Thank you, D Nice. That's very sweet. All right, WBA. What is a WBA? It sounds like female basketball. Well, it says Walgreens. Okay. So Walgreens, let's take a look.
they're being bought out.
Oh, so we can't, that's the one I can't trade anymore, even though they were great. Scumbags. Walgreens. So I'm being told that it's being bought out and we're fucked. But there was some good news on Walgreens. Who's ever buying this is going to make some money because they're reaming the rest of us. Daily buy, 12-hour buy. Yeah, I knew it. Let me see if I can get them some negative. There's a weekly sell. Huh. But they've already predetermined their purchase price. Oh, it's so gorgeous. See, this is what annoys me. 6 months, 12-month buy stop on Walgreens. But if they're being bought out at $33, whatever they're being bought out at $8, $12, that's what you're going to get. So I wouldn't touch Walgreens since they're being bought out. But they are very fantastic. If that deal falls through, 6 month, 12-month buy stop. I mean, it is fantastic. Walgreens will go past $25. Walgreens will pass $40. Walgreens will go past $55. Walgreens will go past $80, $90, and $100.
Like the purchase price was around
$12. Or are we just getting reamed or what? So whoever bought that, the private equity group is buying something with a value of $100 a share, and they're paying $12 a share. They're getting a 10 banger. They're going to get a 10 times return on their money, or the equivalent thereof. I don't know how that works after they purchase anything else.
like I said, it falls through. But my understanding is
Yep. Well, so if the deal falls through, everybody can ride Walgreens up to 100. If not, whoever the private equity investors can do it. Yeah.
Demo trade only. I am not a financial advisor.
All right. Any other symbols you guys want me to call? Let's write that up there. It usually helps them get motivated. You name a symbol. I'll tell you exactly where it's going. When the first push came for the cryptos, these people, like right here, we were at 200, 300 people watching, and they were naming so many I couldn't keep up with back in November and October. Actually, September, October. I just couldn't keep up with them all. But now, everybody's like, the worst investors I've seen out of everybody here are the crypto investors. They have no clue of what they're doing, and they're all looking for the next 100, 300 time coin. They are clueless on what they're doing. I was like, oh my God. Any other symbols? I'll wait a few seconds. There's a lag. There's about a 10-second lag on YouTube. I hope that helps you, Kirk Brown on WBA. And good morning to you again. Morning, everybody on TikTok, YouTube, X, Twitter, Twitch, and I know X is one of those. Good morning to everybody on TikTok. Any more symbols you guys need? What's up, wise monkey? All right, I'm just going to give it another few seconds, then we'll pull this. Would anybody like me to go over? I think I'm going to go over it. Anybody on TikTok or YouTube want me to go over the mental side of trading? How to get out of your own way? If anybody, the mental side of trading 101, how not to let your mind fuck up your trading. Realize the markets are predetermined, not by chance. I'm going to go over that anyways. All right, next subject. Our next little thing we're talking about is this. A lot of people love this part because they have such, mental hang-ups on what they're doing. Yeah, they get too carried away. All right. EA says Solana. Yep, I have WBA leaps. Oh, I hope that works out okay for him with that. Why are they still selling if it's predetermined? They don't care. Like it's a closed deal. It seems like they shouldn't be allowed to sell that.
Well, until it closes. But it's been staying between 11 and 12, 10 to 12 since they announced it.
Well, yeah.
Because I think the price was 12. Or
Gotcha.
11.75.
Solana. What's a Solana with you? Da 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 da. All right, Solana. We used to call Solana a lot. Let me see where it's at. This is the last one. Then I'm going to go over the mental side of trading. Sell, sell, sell Solana. 4 hour, 4 hour, 5 hour. Hit it. 9 hour. Sell, stop Solana to $77. 9 hour blue line. Sell, stop Solana to $69. 12 hour blue line. But I happen to love Solana's weekly, 3 weekly buy stop. Solana, after that fall, will go back to $87.66. It'll go back to 100. It'll go back to 115. It'll go back over 150. And that's what Solana with you. Solana.
Demo trade only. I am not a financial advisor.
All right. Enough of that. The mental side of trading is next. How not to let your mind F up your trading. So the basic tenets of this particular thing we're going to be going over is, that didn't work out good, is you have to realize the markets are predetermined. There's not by chance. Common sense dictates that if you had a $7.2 trillion a day business, would you leave your profits to chance? Would you leave your business to chance? There's no one here that would leave a $7.2 trillion a day business to chance. Not even anyone in this room or not anywhere else. If you had a $7 trillion a day business, you would do everything you could in your power to protect your money and to make sure you did not lose $7.2 trillion a day or any version thereof to chance, period. There's no anyone with common sense. If you could possibly get away with it, you would protect your business by all costs. D Nice, do you agree with that statement? Lachey, do you agree with that statement? Kirk, do you agree with that statement? EA85, would you guys do everything in your humanly power to protect your business if you had a $7.2 trillion a day business? Yes, or 7s for yeses, or 9s for no. Let's see if anyone's that silly up there. Anyone at all? Oh, and TikTok too. Lazarus 777s. Things 777s. You have to wait a minute over here. I'm telling you, YouTube lags so far. It's crazy. Some days it's like 20 seconds. Would you all protect your $7.2 trillion a day business, or would you leave it to chance that you might make money that day? That's all. You're welcome, E8851 with Shay 777s. So common sense would dictate that $7.2 trillion a day. Oh, thank you, Joe Bega. Good morning, Joe. Sorry I didn't see you this morning. Good morning, James Cochran. James is the dude that did the $223,000 trade. Nelson, thank you, Nelson. Thank you, Lachey. All right, so I think we're all in common agreement here with common sense of commonness of common. That, yeah, 7.2, you're not going to leave it a chance. If you had a chance to protect your $7.2 trillion a day business, you would do everything you possibly could to protect it, period. So BlackRock and Vanguard, the two biggest players in the Forex market anyways, which is the $7.2 trillion a day business. Which should scare people, by the way. When you Google that, you'll see estimates range from 6 trillion to like 7.8 trillion. Why isn't there a consensus number on what it is actually a day? That should kind of stun all of you. And then why do your bank deposits that you give your money to your banks for, because the biggest players are BlackRock and Vanguard, but guess who else plays it? Forex is played by all major banks. They take your money and they use that money and they use it against you, and they're when you trade Forex, they're trading against you. Now, how is that legal? I don't know, but again, whatever. So common sense would dictate that these people, these players, these businesses are using AI, Aladdin and Adam, BlackRock and Vanguard, BlackRock and thing. So they're, in other words, they're using the best, smartest minds they can do to create artificial intelligence to trade against you, to make you lose your money, period, which should piss a lot of you off. So when they do that, yes, sir, says EA. Okay, cool. It's Fletch. Thank you, Fletch. Thank you, EA. So yeah, when they're using everything they have against us, they're using it to make sure that we get confused. How good are they at that? They are so good at confusing us. If you go to our rules and you go over to here and you go over to here, they're so good at this that we know, study after study, year after year, that they get 93% of all retail traders to fail and to quit trading within 3 years. I say that number is 99%, but I can't verify it. But I know in my gut that anyone's pretending to say they're winning with day trading is lying to you, unless you're me or I don't know if anybody else is doing it. They're losing. So the number is anywhere from 93% officially to 99% unofficially, which I believe. Okay. So what they do is they're teaching us, and let's you can close your ears for this one. What they're teaching us is all the wrong ways to trade. Because I believe you have to ignore the entire trading industry, or at least 99.99% of it. The news is lies. They make that shit up as they go. They have no clue what's happening. The technical, quote unquote, technical data is the PE earnings, PE ratios, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. It's 100% fake. None of it matters. Does not ever, 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 ever matter. Not a zero, nothing. Price goes up and down solely because the market is manipulated. They are not leaving $7.2 trillion a day profit, Forex market alone, not even including the stock market, to chance. They know where it's going, and so do we, thanks to the system. So the old ways that we were taught to trade, like Fibonacci retracement, look to the left, ascending, descending wedges, support and resistance, head and shoulders, naming of candle. There's no, you know that. Let me be clear on this. This Fibonacci bullshit comes from nature, patterns in nature, and they applied it to trading. I don't even understand that, but I tried it for a year and a half until I learned that. I tried that with ERUSD and NAS, failed miserably. I'm not the only one. 93% of people failed with Fibonacci retracement. Also, naming, I never fell for naming of candle patterns. I knew that shit was bullshit because these aren't even candles. You can literally change this to lines, to anything you want to change this to. Lines with markers, step lines, area, HLCs, columns, volume footprints, Heineken, Rentco, Kagi, but you can change the quote unquote candles to anything. So how they name candle and candle patterns is insanity. I don't understand how they can do it. How they try to say, oh, this is a ascending star, and this is Thor's camera, and this is a butterfly. What are you talking about? Naming of candle and candle patterns is the silliest thing I ever heard. Volume VWAP. Block trading. Okay. Yeah, okay. RSI never works. Bollinger Bands never work. The idea, the lies of good earnings and the stock goes up. Go to NVIDIA at 11/20/24 when their earnings came out, it went straight down. When the Fed cuts interest rates, stocks go up. On 12/13, it went straight down. 12/18. China, Uganda find double the gold deposits in history, and it doesn't go down. Supply and demand doesn't cause it to go down. It went up. Especially the news, after I laughed my ass off. They do not work. Yes, you'll see the Fibonacci retracement work here or there. Of course it does. A broke clock works twice a day too. It doesn't work long term. You can't be consistent using any of those aforementioned ways of trading. You cannot and will not and never have and 93% of you quit because you know it doesn't work. Okay, you don't have to take my word for it. There's the articles. I referenced articles about when they're lost, how far it goes, how many people quit. You have literal referenced articles right here. You can Google these and look these up. Have fun. There's more here and here and here and here and here and here. So if you don't believe anything I just said, good. Don't be a lazy ass. Get up off your ass and actually Google these articles and find out for a fact that 93% of traders, and we're all taught in support and resistance, we're all taught RSI, we're all taught news, we're all taught all that bullshit, but yet 93% of us quit. Why would we quit if all those ways of teaching us worked? The obvious answer is we would never quit. All of us would still be here. But in our own community, over 9 out of 10 of us leave this trading platform that we're using because it doesn't work. So if all that bullshit doesn't work, and I believe they're teaching us the wrong way, because there's someone around here, if there was a professor that had a 93% failure rate in their class for teaching something, he wouldn't be a professor anymore and he wouldn't be teaching that stuff anymore. But we know for a fact that 93% of the students who are trading fail and quit. But they're being taught all the same things. So my theory is that they are literally teaching us the wrong ways to trade. So they're protecting, right? What do we start with? So that they are protecting their $7.2 trillion a day business. They're using AI against us and they're teaching us the wrong way to trade. Because there's no, even if they were teaching us the average, you'd have a 50% people would win and 50% of the people would lose. 50% of the people would quit, 50% of the people would stay. Even if they were not even intentional, they're intentionally teaching us support and resistance, and it doesn't work, period. And I know there's people over here that are dying. They intentionally trained people to teach us the wrong way to trade. Sorry. But yeah, that's it. That's my honest to God belief, because there is no way in heck that the average person couldn't figure this out. I'm not dumb. I know Tommy isn't dumb. I know Jay Cochran isn't dumb. I know Kim Harrington isn't dumb. There's no way that all of my good traders would have failed, and they all did. Let's go on to the next subject here. Watch this one. If all the ways of trading fail, what works? Well, gee, I don't know. I have a trade tracker on my system that on 120 different symbols tracks every trade that's ever done. And we've looked at 120, and when the pink line's low and it goes up, it's 100% win rate every time. Not 99, not 90, not 80, not 70. It wins every time. So if my trading system happens to have a pretty good win percentage and it's tracked by our own AI, our own computer way of trading, then perhaps maybe you ought to look into it. More importantly, my only goal for every one of you here is to get you all retired if you want to retire. Marco Risby was retired. He was just on the other day with my system. Kim Harrington is retired with my system. Okay. Maria Toller, stay-at-home mom, is retired, kind of. Her husband works, but she's still at home making $300 to $500 a day. It took her a year, but she's making $300 to $500 a day. Mr. Gold was just on the other day. Gary retired with my system. Adam retired with my system. Josh retired with my system. Tommy, he was always on. He comes on all the time. He's just in our Discord. His biggest trade, he made $203,000 on a gold trade. Jay, who's on right now on TikTok, made $223,000 on his trade. One of our members, so consistent, he now has his own regulated brokerage firm in Norway. The government of Norway, over a 3-year period of time, Goref has used my system, and he's been so successful at it. He is a regulated broker now in Norway. 3 years, hundreds of thousands of dollars it took him to get here, but he's been so consistent with my system, he now has his own brokerage firm. So if he can do it, right? If Tommy can do it, if Jay can do it, you who are listening can do it. If Boost can do it, you can do it. If Adam can do it, Mr. Gold can do it, you can do it. If Kimberly Herring can do it, Maria Toller can do it, you can do it. Okay? And this is the congratulations him. He deserves his own slide. That's his own market. Now, remember, our legal disclaimer is always here. I'm not a financial advisor. And I've shown this to 3 attorneys, and they all laugh, but they all say, keep it in here. All this stuff I have in here. And it says, you're an adult, you make your own decisions. And I always say, you make your own damn decisions. So you're an adult. So please type out the word yes if you understand everything I just told you, that the market is manipulated, that the way they teach us to trade is for getting us to lose, that they use AI. Well, they absolutely use AI against us. They brag about it. And that you're an adult, you make your own decisions. Please type out the word yes. And I'll wait for y'all. Yes, says Lazarus. Thank you, Lazarus. Oop, I can't see that down there. I tap it. Thank you, says Ari. Thank you, says, oh, that's Art, sorry. Good morning, Fletch. Good morning, Filio, Nelson. And you got to wait for YouTube, huh? How'd you like that rant? Sorry, Terry, but I believe it's my tour. ChatGPT loves us. Right. 100%. And it's true. The way you do it is 100% accurate. Mark, never go to hell. 6-month monthly trades, cash flow, following the idea. ChatGPT loves us. All right. Let's see what the AI, not Adam, not Aladdin. Good morning, Gregory Smith. Gregory Smith says yes. Nelson says yes. Flesh says okay. ChatGPT. You type in the Safe Trade System by Kevin Grego and see what comes up. This is a word-for-word quote from them at that time. Of course, ChatGPT changes and modifies things all the time. So the AI ChatGPT, right, says Safe Trade System by Kevin Grego, quote, all this is structured, disciplined trading system designed to minimize risk and increase the probability of success by focusing on high probability trade setups. 100% accurate. Proper risk management, 100%. And clearly defined entry and exit signals, 100%. Is especially popular among traders who value consistent returns. That's where I cut off ChatGPT, because what trader doesn't value consistent returns? What trader? Every one of us, that's all we want, while maintaining a conservative approach to risk. Whether you're a new trader or experienced trader, the system offers a methodical and cautious way to approach Forex or other markets. But everybody, all we want is consistent trading. All we want is consistent profits. So for them to say anything else is just say, okay, the system makes consistent profits. As simple as that. And if by high probability trades they mean 99 to 100% accurate, other than what God wants this system to miss, then yeah, I would agree with that statement. These are high probability, right? Now, if we went through all this and everything I just talked about was to get you to realize the market is manipulated and that I, through God, have figured out what they're going to do before they do it, you need to burn these beliefs into your subconscious mind. Okay? So how do you burn these beliefs into your subconscious mind? That is the question you have to be asking yourself. How on earth do you do that? All right? You have to be in the right state of mind in order to do that. Okay? What does that mean, to be in the right state of mind? I don't know if I have these other sheets up. No. Okay. How do you get into the right state? I could have swore I did, though. Hold on a second. Let me go back underneath that. I thought I did. Let me go under here. So how do you get your guys' brain to think clearly where you're not a scared trader? When I would place a trade for the first 2.5 years, every trade I placed went against me. It was wrong. I lost $26,500 over that time period. There you go. Let me move this up too. I lost 99% of my trades the first 2.5 years. The bro clock was right more often than I was. People said, well, why the heck didn't you just go against what you said? I tried that and still lost. I kept going because I had a child with a health condition. Everyone gave up on me except for Bree. How did I stay motivated? And see, that's weird that they're not pulling that through. Fine. Okay. So how do you stay in the right state of mind? You need to stay in alpha brainwaves, not beta. Beta is bad. Alpha is good. What does that mean? Beta brainwaves are when you can't heal. You're in flight or fight. Your cortisol, adrenaline, noradrenaline are all raised. All those hormones, stress hormones, are high in beta, which causes anxiety, literal voices in your head, survival mode, insomnia. You're scared. You can't think clearly or make good decisions when it comes to trading. So when you're in there, the typical trader would do this. You would take a trade, it will turn against you, you'll be down $500, and it's moving your stop loss down, making a bad decision the whole time. Then if it flips around and you're up $1, you'll close the trade down. That is a typical beta brainwave trade where you're willing to risk $500 to make $1. That is a good way to go broke and to lose everything you ever have, including your demo money. You'll blow account after account. So beta brainwaves are bad. The alpha brainwaves are good. It causes you to feel safe, calm. You're in a healing mode, you're parasympathetic mode. It releases all the good hormones. It releases serotonin, dopamine, and your endorphins. When you're in alpha brainwaves, you actually have your genes are turned on, which in turn makes proteins like L-tryptophan, which in turn makes serotonin, which in turn makes you happy, which in turn helps you make good decisions. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you what I've learned and what I do for myself. And I have it in my own writing up there. Okay. So how do we get to these? The only parasympathetic thing we can control is breathing. So your Wim Hof or box breathing is very powerful to get you in a good state of mind so you can think clearly, so you can make good decisions. Ice therapies, such as holding your breath while you dunk your face in the cold water, brings you down. These things change your face fast, your state fast. Grounding or sun therapies, right? Blah, 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 all that good stuff. This is also something you can do. You can do your own affirmations when you're in your alpha state brainwaves. You can't do this when you're in beta. It will not really help. But if you're in alpha, it'll help out a ton. One of the things you can control is your internal voice. It says, now I am the voice. I'm in control. I'm not a victim. I can easily see when to enter every trade for the safest profit possible. Not lose trades. I will lead, not follow. I am happy, not sad. I am loving, not angry, or some version of those. But the truth is, you can say this to yourself, I'm getting happier and healthier every day, because the truth is, I'm a highly successful day trader. The truth is, I trade gold successfully every day. Whatever it is, fill in your blanks on that. I could have sworn all these are already hooked. You can do double dissociation. I taught you guys this the last time we were on doing this. And that is when you see yourself making a successful trade, how happy you are at the end of it, what emotions that bring you. And then you can see yourself in a movie theater seeing the trade. And then you can see yourself projecting it in the movie theater, controlling the movie. And you can do that. It's called double dissociation. It's a real nice way to either negate your bad trades or project yourself seeing a good trade, and you're in control of that trade. All right, so that's a quick let. I usually do that about 5-10 minutes. I do a little mental part of things so they get a little more comfortable with trading. And then, yeah, so we went over, started with all the free signal callouts. We went over all the little trades you guys wanted me to call out. We got you prepped up for open coming up in several hours from now, but in a few hours from now. Let me see over here. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Does anybody have any questions over any of those things we went over? Does anybody have any more symbols you want me to check? Does anybody have any questions over the emotional side of trading? Does anybody have any questions over getting you prepped up for the open later today? What's up, Trading on Tilt? Good morning, Trading on Tilt. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, Art, for the likes. This little hype right here is 45,000 likes on TikTok, because some of my members do. Does NAS have a 15-minute sell stop, says Lazarus. Sure, let's look at NAS. Well, let's see right here. We can answer it with my question. 15-minute sell stop. No, NAS does not have a 15-minute sell stop, but we can go more directly into that and see for him because he's a nice fellow. I said no, and it actually is, but hold on. Is it a 15-minute there? It is. Is it a 10-minute? Yeah, it is. Yes, there's a 15-minute, 30-minute sell stop to the 10-minute blue line. Now, that's going to confuse a lot of you. It's a 15-minute sell right here. Red, 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 green. Blah, blah. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me go back over to this group so we can see it clearer. Let's go with 15. Okay. You're going to see a sell stop on, well, this isn't true for that one. Okay. SPX, ES1, and US30 and YM1 all have a, well, that might even be 45 minutes. Well, yeah, okay. There's a sell stop between 15-minute, 30-minute, and 45-minute on all indices, depending on which indice you're looking at. The reality is it's all broken on the 45. The 30-minute is the highest time frame you can call, and the 15-minute. So ES1, SPX, US30 have a 30-minute sell stop. It isn't a 30-minute sell stop to the 30-minute blue line because they have to hit the 10-minute first. So if we go over here, it's a 30-minute sell stop to the 10-minute blue line. Okay. Not likely going to happen on US 30, but it can. Yeah, it can go down there. But again, we're on a permanent buy on US 30, NAS, NQ1, SPX, YM1, and ES1 till otherwise noted. So we're on a permanent buy. You never play any sell stops. You can if you want to. Feel free. You're going to ask adults, do your own damn decisions, but it's kind of a silly decision. It's only forming for us our higher time frame buys, which on this thing over here, you can clearly see 2-hour buy, 4-hour buy. Oh, that's a 3-minute buy stop, 3-minute buy stop. But yeah, you can clearly see there's buy stops on higher time frames. So we're going to kind of flip over off of that, and we're going to go into those higher time frame buys because we do not do the sells. 4-hour buy, 5-hour buy, fill in the gap 7, fill in the gap 9, 10, 12-hour fill in the gap buys. Daily's even technically a buy. And then it's a weekly, 3-weekly buy stop. So yeah, you can call those. You can play those if you want. I'm not touching a sell with a freaking 500-foot pole. I'm not doing it. But again, you read the chart correctly for NAS. It is a 15-minute sell stop. You're welcome, Lazarus. Yes, I would protect the business, Kurt. Some people are, so they'll rewatch YouTube from the beginning and then catch up. They'll skim through and catch up. So you can go, you can go to YouTube right now and just rewatch everything I just said it live, as I'm saying, and then go back to me. All right, peeps. Anything else? Anything before I go? Does anybody have any questions? Did anybody do a bad trade that they had with the system? They have a question on. Does anybody have any trade questions in general? Please ask any questions now. I promise not to get angry because usually if I'm in a pissy mood, I shred them for asking a question. Good morning, Art. Good morning, Lazarus, Joe Bigham, Michelle Gowinski, Willow Whisperer. That's a cute name. Smoky One, Black Box Coach, and Daredevil. Oh, I love Daredevil, actually. Anybody have any questions? I stepped away, says Kirk. I got you, Kirk. Anybody have any questions? Did anyone get caught in a trade they didn't want to be in?
Demo trade only. I am not a financial advisor.
What's up, FPS Junkie? Welcome to the channel. What's your name? My name is Kevin. What is your name, FPS Junkie? Kirk, Trading on Tilt, Filio, Greg, Nelson, Fletch, EA. Any of y'all have questions over anything? What about the 5-minute, 1-minute first? First about what? I didn't say there was a 15-minute. Wait, you guys, that's the problem. Go back and rewatch the beginning of the show where I called out the trade. No, I'm just confirming Lazarus' reading of the charts for the 15-minute. Y'all know what I said. We're completely in 5-second buy stops. That the order in which the trades happen. Go to your rules. The order of your rules state that your nope, we don't want beginner rules. Sorry, we want specific. The order in which the safety trades develop are 1 second, 5 second, 10 second, 15 seconds first, then the 15 minutes, then the 4 hours daily week. That's the order in which they form. So we literally have, just go back to the beginning and watch it. There's a 1 second, 5 second, 10 second buy stop at open or right after open. Yeah, you have to look at your the first trades first, Rayshawn. Very good. Correct. Kevin, do you trade on Nadex? I used to love Nadex. Yes. I used to do live trades on Nadex with you guys. Oh, it's so much fun. Love Nadex. You can use the basically the 1 second through 3-minute trades for Nadex every day and make money every day on Nadex. Demo money only. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, but me personally, yes. Love Nadex. They're binary options. You either win or you lose. It's fantastic. Love the trades on there. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Questions, says David. Oh, hey, Kevin, thanks for your system where I keep asking questions in your lives and you say you can't see them in TikTok blocking me or my questions not good. Today I asked if 15-minute sell stop on NAS would kick in. I'm not trying to be difficult, just want to know if I'm being blocked. Hope you enjoy your Sunday. What's up, David? Hi, David. Nothing, it's nothing personal. But TikTok and YouTube block inappropriate questions. And X and everywhere. By inappropriate questions, that means that questions that could have any kind of inferences to something to do with the system that no one needs to talk about. But yes, there is. I just answered this for someone else. A 15-minute sell stop. But you never take sells because we're in a permanent buy. I've already eliminated 50% probability of you getting a trade wrong by me just telling you there are no sells for US 30, YM1, NAS, NQ1, SPX, ES1, gold, Bitcoin, XRP, or Ethereum. And wait, it gets better. There are no sells for Nike, Target, J&J. Oh, I didn't go over the stocks. I should do that. CVS, L, AMD, Verizon, SMCI, PFE. There are no sells for any of those. We're in permanent buys. I will let you know if we ever switch over to a sell. But right now, until further notice, those are all permanent buys. You can't possibly do a sell and make the wrong trade if they're all buys. I've just cut out 50% probability of losing. Come on now, peeps. We're in a permanent buy until. Oh, you want to see something funny too? All right, that takes care of his question. All right. This is what we use to train children. This is used to train children and grandchildren. Hint, hint to anybody sitting here. With the way to trade. Where is my 6-month app? Right here. This picture right here was given to me by LD, one of our OG members of the system. He's training his children and grandchildren. They are 8 and 12 years old on how to trade. And we're about ready for somebody we know. The flow of the river. The flow of the river is going up. The daily is a buy. The weekly is a buy. The monthly is a buy. The 3 monthly is a buy. The 6 monthly is a buy. The yearly is a buy for all indices. You would never trade against the flow of the river. If you did go against the flow of the river, you're going to lose. You'll win. You can do the quick trades. You can get in and out. You're an adult. You can make money on a sell. But if that thing flips on you with some kind of news or something big moves and it goes shooting up against you, you're going to lose your ass and you're going to regret trying to do that sell. But yes, you can do sells. You'll see me do it every once in a blue moon, maybe once a month. I'll jump in. It's a short-term sell. The flow of all those symbols I told you are a buy. So if children who are 8 years old and 12 years old can understand to go with the flow of the river, why am I having adults ask me if I should be doing buys, sell, sorry, on the 15-minute? It doesn't make any sense to me. Yes, there's a 15-minute sell, but why would you take the trade? Now, see, I could have went off on that and got angry, but I'm trying to hold back. I would shred them into pieces for asking these questions. All right. All good, says EA. Thank you, EA. Gregory, okay, thank you. You're welcome, Gregory. All right, TikTokers, do you want me to read off these for you? Those stock? Good. All right. They're all the same. Like we kind of did the other day. Tire, and Nike's good, Target's good, J&J's good. All right. Take any I'll give you guys a thought. Take any 30-minute buy stop for the next 2 years you can on Nike. How about that for trading? Take any 30-minute buy stop you can for the next 2 years on Target, J&J, CVS, L, AMD, and I don't think Verizon I was as strong with because it's so tiny with its movements, but SMCI and PFE for sure. All right, guys. All right. Thank you all for TikTok. God bless. Anything else we cover? Thank you all for being here on TikTok. God bless you all. Have a great rest of your weekend. Good luck on the open. Have fun. YouTubers, any questions before I roll? And turn that sucker off because sometimes that thing stays on. YouTuber, TikTokers, Xers, Twitters, and Twitches, any questions before I go? I'm going to go ahead and roll. Thank you all for being here. And then from these 21 people we average about 200, maybe 300 that will come back and rewatch. So you get about 300. Sometimes there's more. Well, some of my things you rep 43, but it will go from 43 to 273 to 200 to 200 to 299 to 400. You see what happens? So that's how that works. Yeah. Or people who just are out there, they can catch it, because we have hundreds, so they'll come back and rewatch that. Now, the most views we have are on, where's my viewers? Oh, right here, it's live. The most views we have is this one, 3,400, basically 3,000, 2,500, 2,500, 2,400. So there's some that do good, and some not so much. I would say 200-300 is on the lower end of things, but it is what it is. Thanks, always appreciate it. You're welcome, Filio. Thank you, Try Edwards. All right, God bless you guys. Everybody have a great Sunday. Talk to y'all later.